has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey long. Good morning. I'm the Reverend Kevin Tarsa here with Carol Nimick, our worship associate today, and Linda Snyder at the piano. Thank you, Linda, once again. As we arrive and settle in, and before we do anything else but sing together, we're going to invest in what we say matters by taking a moment, in a moment, to really notice and honor and see each other. Through the simple act of saying hello in ways that are as warm as we can muster this morning, being as generous and grateful and real as we have it in us to be. So let's do two things to prepare for that. Let's do two things to prepare to say hello. First of all, let's turn off the ringers on our cell phones. Let go of that distraction. And let's take 3 breaths to get ourselves centered. To become even more present out of the busyness of the morning. And one more to become even more self-aware of how it is with us. And from this place, from this grounded, centered, real place, let's say hello to the people around us, whether you're here in the room or on Zoom, making sure that everyone gets a chance to be greeted. Connie Wright offers our land acknowledgement this morning.
In our commitment to be in right relationship with the descendants of this area, in indigenous people, we place a small basket of black oak acorns on our altar each week. May the tribal sovereignty of the Nevada City Rancheria be restored through federal recognition.
Welcome to the many-syllabled Unitarian Universalist Community of the Mountains.
Or UUCM for a name that's easier to say.
Always, but especially in these times, it is good to be together. This Thanksgiving weekend, we bridge the November theme of nurturing gratitude into the December theme shortly of choosing hope, recognizing that gratitude and hope are thoroughly interwoven.
In many Christian traditions, Advent begins today, a season of anticipation, of incubation and gestation, of waiting and arriving. Traditionally, it's a time of waiting for the birth of a holy child.
In our Unitarian Universalist way, we open that story wide as the spirits of the people gathered here in this moment. And we wait for not one story alone, but for the rebirth of light, of love, of courage within and among us, understanding the birth of every child as holy, and waiting is something we all share.
Waiting for the light to return. Waiting for the arrival of clarity or healing. Waiting for change or for peace.
And so this morning, we enter this sacred time together.
A time to rest.
A time to yet again breathe.
A time to be present.
A time to honor the quiet, potent work that sometimes unfolds within our waiting.
Welcome, whether you come with a heart full of hope or a heart weary from waiting so very long.
Welcome. Bale Raven offers our chalice lighting and Advent candle lighting words this morning.
I almost missed you.
Good job.
We light this chalice, symbol of our faith, and we light the first blue Advent candle as well, for the light that shines in waiting, for the patience and presence that grow in darkness, and for the hope, the fragments of hope that live in every heart.
Forgot to issue the tree warning. Carol's also lighting the lantern that will go with our youngest members on their way to Kids Connection. And I notice, yes, again, the Wonder Box. It's kind of like a Wonder Basket today. And I have no idea what's in here, but I'm going to look. Oh, it's familiar. It's a chalice with a candle in it. I wonder exactly what is going to happen with this, with our young ones upstairs today. But what we'd love to do is to sing you on your way with the light, same light as we have in our chalice. And I wonder if there's anyone who would like to take the basket up today. With that, let's sing. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you.
Oh, hi, Marianne.
Hey, Lori.
Did I hear rumors about a holiday bazaar?
You certainly did.
And when is it?
We are having our holiday bazaar on the first 3 Sundays in December, December 7th, 14th, and 21st.
And are we going to have a bake sale also?
Oh, that's on the 21st.
Oh, I remember getting so many delicious cookies and things that were going to be gifts. But, anyhow, I look forward to that again this year. And have you started taking donations?
We have. Okay, we're accepting any gently used item that you might, if you saw in a store, you'd want to buy it. And we're storing them in the balloon room.
The where?
The balloon room, which is the little room off the kitchen.
Oh, okay. That used to be a nursery or something like that.
Well,
Yeah.
now it's
Okay.
our
So, I have a World Book Encyclopedia, all 22 volumes that got me through junior high school. I bet there's some grandchildren out there or children that are in junior high that would just love this.
Oh, Lori, I'm sorry. We're not accepting books
Oh.
of any type.
Okay. My wedding dress. I've only worn it 3 times. How about that?
Lori, we're not accepting clothing. Maybe another time.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll get to wear it again. So what are you? What are you accepting?
We're accepting any gently used item that
Okay.
you might have at home, crafts.
Oh, like knitted caps or scarves
exactly.
or jewelry or something?
That's right.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
And as I said, the last Sunday, we're doing a bake sale.
That's right. And also, what if it doesn't sell?
Okay, we want people to put their names and a suggested price.
Okay.
And then on December 21st, check. If it doesn't sell,
Okay.
please bring it home.
You don't want to haul all that
No.
leftover stuff, and we can't, I know, store it in the garage anymore. Okay. And what if I don't have enough cash to
Oh,
buy all the baked goods?
we accept checks. We also are accepting credit cards.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, I can't wait to see all the wonderful things that'll be out there. And you've been doing this for a long time, Marianne. How come?
I have. I've been doing it since 2014. And I started with Janet Bullock, which was a joy. So I like to see this continue as sort of our UUCM tradition.
Sounds wonderful. I look
Okay.
forward to it, Marianne. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Lori.
I woke early this morning. It was completely dark, except for the twinkling stars shining through the clear sky. The stars speak of hope as they radiate brightness through the sky's black veil. The first brush of dawn and the rise of the sun will soon come. This is the mood of Advent. Though distant, the stars speak of promises, and I await the morning's light. I feel expectancy and excitement. What possibilities might this day hold? Advent is a time of expectant hope, coming yearly when the world is tilted toward darkness, and we gather in our homes and within ourselves, waiting for the cycle of increasing light to arrive. The world of nature pulls in. Animals begin to hibernate. Trees lose their leaves. The soil is sealed with frost. The world stops moving quickly and starts holding itself. The slowing down and form of pause is part of the natural order. This time finds many cultures celebrating the return of light. The Hindus light the Diwali candles, the Jews the menorah at Hanukkah, African Americans light the menorah recognizing Kwanzaa, Iranians recite poetry late at night, and the Chinese feast during the Dengsai festival. All cultures are preparing, are waiting, and celebrating the light's return. Advent means the approaching, from the Latin adventus, coming toward. I feel an anticipatory mood when I'm planting seeds. I feel it before a storm, or when my suitcase is packed for a trip, or the moment before a friend's arrival. Sometimes before the chalice is lit. Something hasn't arrived, but it feels close. There's a physical sensation, though no physical evidence. It is a time pregnant with emotion, longing, trepidation, being unsettled, even fearful of uncertainty. How will I be changed by this experience? Often there's hope. An emotional rush of anticipation pulses through me. As I live into this liminal space, the threshold between what was and what's next, there's a heightened awareness, knowing this moment will not come again. I sense I must prepare, while also feeling unknowing, uncertain what might be at the threshold. In facing these transitions, I often try to quiet my mind, to clear the space for what is coming and for the meaning and impact it might bring. This clearing of space and quieting the mind helps me listen to what is emerging, noticing what wants to be born. This kind of positioning seems to bring forth the magic of those radiant stars in the morning sky. It helps open me to patience and quietude, beckoning a place of deep love and joyful welcome. It seems hope does not demand belief, but rather it asks only for my willingness to prepare some truly open space within. Jan Richardson says, in the waiting, something sacred stirs between what is and what will be. We find the holy space of becoming. Perhaps this is the acknowledgement of our sacred selves, our spiritual journey for something larger than ourselves that is new and transformational. I invite us all to be ready to open the door for what might step gently into our hearts. I invite us to be like candles in the wind, believing in the unseen with the lighting of the candles this month of Advent.
Carol, thank you for offering the first of a set of invitations this morning to enter this season meaningfully and thoughtfully. Thank you. I grew up singing Gregorian chant. Anybody else? And the ancient song, Veni, Veni, Emmanuel, from more than 1,000 years ago, has long moved me. There's something in it, I think, about that kind of soaring reach for that note in rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, Gaude, Gaude. Something in that grabs me, meets me where I am somehow. History says that the Benedictine monks would sing one verse a day of that song the week before Christmas to prepare their hearts and their minds. It is very much an Advent hymn, or maybe the Advent hymn. But I think more than that, for me it is a song, it's a song of longing. It's a song of reaching for rescue, for relief, for hope in very difficult times. It has that longing, reaching feel to me. In its original Christian setting, it seeks and celebrates the arrival of the long-promised Savior who would lead people to a much better life together. And each of its original 7 verses begins with a different biblical name for that Messiah, that anointed one. Wisdom, Dayspring, Splendor, Emmanuel, which means God with us. In our Unitarian Universalist setting, Emmanuel can mean God with us for a person who sings it, for each person who finds that meaningful and resonant. And like everything else in our tradition, which does not allow us to insist that we all think alike or believe alike, the song and the tradition also can hold many other kinds of meanings. I think, and more important, I feel this song as an expression of that deep longing, a calling out for what we most yearn for. Oh, come, that, come, comfort, peace, freedom, healing. I love the way the words in our particular UU version reframe it in our values as an expression of hope and commitment, as a claim that what we're inviting in and anticipating and making room for, what's coming toward us, is something that's going to be within us, the presence of love within us, truth within us, light within us, hope within us, and not merely momentarily as a guest, but as a long-term home, a long-term place for love, for hope, for peace, for truth. That's what it's naming as an ideal for us. So I invite you to rise in body or in spirit, even if you're at home and on Zoom, I suggest, and to sing with the meanings and the longings that are most important to you, that resonate with you, knowing and holding room in your heart for the truth that the people around you are going to have their own meanings, their own longings as they sing. For me, this is a minor miracle every Sunday, that we each sing from our own place, right, from our own hearts, our own understandings, and we sing together. That's the work of BNUU. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and to sing, O come, Emmanuel. O come, Emmanuel, and with your captive children dwell. Give comfort to all exiles here, and to the aching heart give cheer. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come within as love to dwell. Oh, come, you splendor very bright, as joy that never leaves to night. Oh, come and turn our hearts to peace, that greed and war at last shall cease. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come within as truth to dwell. Oh, come, you dayspring, come and cheer our spirits by your presence here, and dawn in every broken soul, as vision that can see the whole. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come within as light to dwell. Oh, come, you wisdom Today at this threshold, as we shift themes from gratitude to choosing hope, I invite us into another kind of personal reflection on our own longings. One of the themes of Advent is anticipation, that coming toward, right? That sense of arrival. The Advent season, as Carol has spelled out really beautifully, involves this blend of hope and expectation and waiting. As I said, UUs are wide open to how we frame what we're waiting for. For me, the deeper theme of Advent has to do with this sense of longing that I've been naming, our sense of yearning. That's what I'm drawn to in the melody, I think, more than anything, of Veni, Veni, Emmanuel. There's something about that reaches that for me. And the rejoicing that Gaude, Gaude is not a message of, don't worry, be happy. But rather it's this anticipation, this, oh, if only. That's the rejoicing, not because it's arrived, but I can feel it. I can feel the possibility. This kind of longing for possibility that's so strong we can taste it. Okay, already the Buddhist voices in my head are cautioning that longing or yearning is a source of suffering, a distraction. That longing takes us away from what actually is and takes us away from who we are. But there is, I think, room for other messages around this. And one is that longing can be a map back to ourselves. That's the way Jessica Mahler puts it, that longing is a map back to ourselves, a guide, our heart's way of calling you home back to yourself, she says. Her claim is that the arrival that we're longing for is something that we can anticipate or sense or even long for only because somewhere inside of us we have already experienced it enough to know, sense the truth of it enough to know that it's available and even possible. Longing would not be for something we don't know. Longing is about something we already know. It's not ultimately about something outside of us, but about something inside of us, she teaches. Or as Marie Perrin puts it, you would not long for what is not remembered. But this requires going beneath the surface and requires, I would add, that our basic physical needs are met first. I'm aware that I'm approaching longing from a starting place of having enough. And that a person's primary longings may indeed be tied to meeting very specific, concrete needs. And while some aspects of approaching longing this way will serve, it will have its limits too. So like everything else we offer, here's a possibility for you to weigh in your own understanding of life in the world. In our starting point sessions for people who are wanting to take a deeper dive into learning, what's this whole UU thing about anyway? I offer one framing of Unitarian Universalism's take on what the primary human challenge is. And the way we frame it in that setting is that the primary human challenge is that we tend to get disconnected. We tend to get detached from our own self, from each other, from the goodness of life, from the larger good. And our efforts then, if we frame it that way, our efforts are all about helping us reconnect or stay connected in the ways that really matter. That's what we're about. That's the way we would frame it. And Jessica Mahler suggests that often what longing does is reveal to us where we're feeling separated or disconnected in our lives. Thus, that profound feeling of, oh, if only. It's actually pointing out a disconnection of some sort. And she encourages us to risk asking ourselves what our feelings of longing are showing us. What are they revealing to us about ourselves? Instead of resisting or judging your longing, she encourages, lean in and follow it. See where it wants to take you. Which means we'd have to first recognize and acknowledge our longing, that we have it. Veni, veni, Emmanuel. So this is my Advent invitation, one of them, to all of us, me included, as we find our way through what's unfolding in the nation and world right now, not to mention finding our way through our personal lives, to celebrate the season and the spirit of Advent in Unitarian Universalist style, by leaning into our own longing, if we can, if it might serve us. Of course, Jessica Mahler has a plan for this. So here it is, in case it serves. First, she says, notice this, Randy, it's ringing a little bit. Notice the surface desire, which is really a secondary desire. Notice what's at the surface. What is it that we think we want, that we're longing for? That's usually the starting place, but really it's not the real thing. It's the secondary thing. And she says often these things are external things, and they're specific people. They can feel urgent or obsessive or tied. Here's the big key. They're tied to a fix. Oh, if I have this, I'll be good. I've shared before that I have this personal cyclical urge as an introvert in a social and public role, in which I feel like what I really want and what I really need for the entire rest of my life, what would allow me to feel deeply content forever, is to be a complete hermit. For some reason, I usually envision this in a cave, although I haven't really thought through the amenities around that. But it could also be me cloistered in my one-person monastery, tending to my little garden, right? That's what I need forever. And so when I have really cloistered myself deeply, usually in a remote cabin somewhere, I am great for 2 to 4 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks. And then I am very ready to re-engage the world. And I realize, oh, I don't need to be a hermit forever. I just need to be a hermit enough. Enough of the time. I need to get enough solitude. Mahler writes that these surface desires, these ones that we first register, oh, that's what I need, these fixes for what we imagine for ourselves, they seem like the goal, but they're actually often just a sign pointing towards something deeper, toward what we're actually really needing. So the second step for Mahler is to go beneath the surface of that surface longing and ask ourselves, what does that desire represent? Get curious about the feelings or the experience associated with that secondary desire, she says. That secondary longing. Ask, what is it that having this would give me really? If I had that, what would it really give me? Reassurance? Connection? Validation? Freedom? Purpose? Stability? Belonging? Safety? Being a hermit in a cabin gives me all kinds of things. It gives me ease and rest, because I'm not on for once. It gives both my head and my heart a chance to catch up and do all the processing that I seem to need a lot of time and space to do. Time and space and silence for all of this to work its way through. It gives me a chance to feel life as spacious and spontaneous instead of structured and ordered. It gives me a chance to feel entirely awed by nature, right? Immersed in the world of which I'm a part. At heart, I think it really gives me a sense of peacefulness and ease. It's not the hermiting that I'm after, it's the peacefulness and ease. But Mahler has a step 3, which is to go even deeper than that. See if we can find what's the root longing, the root feeling beneath that. She says this is often less about the thing and much more about a deeper emotional or spiritual need. A desire for connection, maybe, or belonging. A need to feel worthy or whole for once. A longing for self-expression or alignment with your truth. Something very deep. She writes, it's about reconnecting to the essence of what you're missing inside you, not what you're seeking externally. what you're missing inside you, not what you're seeking externally. And this is the turn, right, that guides us toward what's the real thing. The thing that's about something we're missing inside of us, not the outside thing that's going to give us what we want. What being a hermit for a time points out to me at a much deeper and much more tender level is this. As a person who learned to be always acutely aware of and tuned into and responsive to the needs of others, the wants and needs and desires of others, I find it terribly difficult often. Sometimes it feels impossible to really know, let alone be or assert clearly and fully who I am, what I want, what I see, what I need, what I know. What being away from people offers me is a chance to be an entirely authentic, unmitigated, completely aligned me, because I'm not using any energy on the rest. My goal, of course, is to learn to be able to be entirely me more of the time, and not only when I'm alone. And what this awareness raises for me is really a very deep sadness that I have spent so much of my 62 and a half years otherwise. So much of my 62 and a half years living incompletely, held in, not being fully myself, not flowing freely too much of the time. My actual very deep, deep longing is to live with authenticity and alignment, to live in a way that is flowing freely and fully in the world. That's really the deeper longing for me. Step 4, sit with the feeling. Spend time with the feeling, including the feelings of loss. So often I think when we get in touch with something that matters to us and we realize it, and we realize how much time we've spent not having it, not even pursuing it, there's a really profound grief that comes with that. Mahler writes that root longings often come with discomfort because they touch on deeper fears, wounds, or unmet needs. Take time to sit with the feelings, she says, and ask, what am I really, really, really longing for in my life right now? Is this really about me, or am I projecting this onto something outside of me? What deeper need is my heart actually asking me to nurture? In other words, what's my longing telling me is missing? So these first 4 steps of finding the surface longing, going a bit deeper to the longing underneath that, to go even deeper to what's the root longing, and then being with what we discover. Those are very much an Advent season invitation for me. A winter solstice invitation, a longest night of the year invitation, right? It matches the outside world to kind of pull in that way, in the ways that Carol describes so beautifully. Notice the surface desire, which is really a secondary desire. Go beneath the surface to ask what it really represents, what it's really about. Go even deeper to look for the root feeling. Sit with the feelings and let the needed questions arise. So before we go any further, I invite you to take a moment to see if you know already, or notice now, a longing in you. Maybe it's a surface longing, something kind of external and clear, because that's often the place to start. If only this were true, if only I had this. What's the longing that surfaces? Or maybe you already recognize underneath that one a more fundamental longing that desire represents. What would satisfying that first desire really offer you? Or maybe you're one of those people who does a lot of inner work and you're way down in there and you've already been discovering and rooting out really the deep root longing, something foundational, something that you're missing inside of yourself. So at whatever level, what's one longing that you actually recognize in you these days? working with these kinds of longings. This is the long-term work of Advent and beyond, of course. So today's meant to simply plant the seeds, to set a spark maybe, for investing in your own awareness of a longing that might actually be a map back to yourself, might guide you home in some way. In a few moments, I'll be inviting you to note physically one of the longings that you're aware of, to put it down in a word or a phrase or a symbol that's meaningful to you on a small piece of paper. So let me give a heads up to the people who need the little heads up for such things. But first, let me give you Mahler's remaining 2 steps. The ones that come after sitting with the feelings and the awareness, because these might be next steps for you. Step 5, she said, is acting from the root longing, not the surface longing, not the thing we thought we wanted at first. Act from here, she says, not here. And look for it inside ourselves rather than outside ourselves. So her examples are, if your root longing is for connection, to ask, well, how can I create a deeper connection with myself, first of all? Start very much inside. How can I create a deeper connection with my community? If we're longing for love, how might we nurture love for ourselves? Or how might we share love with someone else? Not expecting it to arrive from outside of us, but what in us might meet it. Or if it's freedom, how can we bring a sense of spaciousness into our current life? When you uncover the root longing, she says, focus on meeting it from within rather than seeking it from outside. So that's step 5, but the final one is to not leave it there, just in the awareness piece, but to transform longing, she says, into creation. So we're not left with the longing. That's not the end point. It's meant to be a map home. She said, transform it into creation, because longing actually holds an immense power. It's a very creative energy. She says it's actually a fire that we can channel. We can channel into expression and action. It's not the end of the story. It's the sign telling us something, and actually an energy and fire that we can use to create in the world. Instead of letting it consume you, she says, use it as a fuel for your own creating, for your own creativity. Turn it into something tangible. As both my therapist and my spiritual director encourage me, each in their own way, be the architect rather than merely the receiver of your life. That's the message they give to me. Be the architect rather than merely the receiver of your life. Acting from the root longing, not the surface longing, and transforming longing, using its fire, transforming it into creation. For me, there's often an annual rhythm to this cycle. This is the introspective. This is the longing part of the year. And the steps 5 and 6 come with the new year, come with spring for me. Maybe that's true for you. You may be wondering why this branch is hanging here in the middle of the air. What is that branch doing there? There are pear trees, ornamental pear trees outside the building here, and so outside my office windows. They are beautiful in the spring, just filled with white blossoms, and in the fall, the leaves turn a brilliant red. But even before the leaves are barely turning, before they fall, the buds for next spring's growth are already very prominent. Long before the leaves fall, these big, juicy buds appear for next year's growth. And so for me, the buds have become a symbol that I find helpful. The symbol, for me, of the longing, but also the hope and the anticipation, expectation. The seeds for what's coming, the bud for what's coming is already there. It's just not there yet, right? It's not unfolding yet. So this particular pear branch came from a tree near my home, a remnant of some recent pruning in the park. There's one branch left, stuck up in the tree where they hadn't seen it. And even as its leaves cling for a bit longer, we will invite you in the room to honor one of your longings and your journey by, again, putting a symbol, a word, a phrase that somehow captures it for you on little wrapped up buds that Carol Nimick made many of for us. They have a little Christmas hook on them. So as you get yours, take that out. You can unfold it, make your mark, your word, your symbol. And if your fingers will do it and it serves you, feel free to wind it back up again and get the hook through the holes. And if that's not your thing, feel free just to bring it up and put it in the basket, and we'll hang it up afterwards for you. So the idea is that we'll leave this up in the building for the month of Advent. You'll know it's here. Even if you don't see it again, you'll know it's here. My hope for all of us is that this is a little tangible spark that actually guides that internal journey. That in the craziness of the holidays, we're actually invited to something deeper, especially as the holidays wind down and we move into the new year. And maybe this will be the start of anticipating your question for the year, which I'll invite in January. Not a word for the year this year, but a question for the year. Maybe it'll come out of this longing. So what are you waiting for? What are you longing for? Oh, if only. If only. In the quiet music, we'll take time to pass out those buds, to write. And when you come up, you may come up and hang yours on the tree if you're so moved, or place it in the basket, and or place a stone in the bowl of water. If you're at home, I invite you to find your own little piece of paper, a small one that you can curl up that will hold that longing for you for a time. Feel free to bring it here when you're here and hang it on the branch wherever it is. I invite you into a sense of your own longing and an honoring of what matters. I love the communal nature of that effort. People working together to help them be on there. Noticing who wants to make sure they're going to stay in place. Who picks a very carefully chosen spot. Thanks for your willingness. May the experience, may the ritual, may the knowledge that this is here and not alone serve you this season as you continue to explore where that map is guiding you, perhaps. We light our candle of compassion, resistance, and resilience here after all of this today. And I have in mind today in particular the removal of the temporary protected status for Haitians, who, as it's been expressed, are to be sent back regardless, when in fact everywhere in the country is terribly dangerous everywhere in the country. Seems very cruel. So we light our candle of compassion, resistance, and resilience for the compassion part, the oh. For the resistance part, the no. And the resilience part, which is related to the knowing and the doing. Very careful to light our candle. And to help us finish this moment, a prayer, a blessing for waiting by Jan Richardson. Who wait for the night to end, bless them. For all these waitings, they could also be longings. Who wait for the night to end, bless them. Who wait for the night to begin, bless them. Who wait in the hospital room, who wait in the cell, who wait in prayer, bless them. Who wait for news, who wait for the phone call, who wait for a word, who wait for a job, a house, a child, bless them. Who wait for one who will come home, who wait for one who will not come home, bless them. Who wait with fear, who wait with joy, who wait with peace, who wait with rage, who wait for the end, who wait for the beginning, who wait alone, who wait together. Bless them. Who wait without knowing what they wait for or why. Bless them. Who wait when they should not wait. Who wait when they should be in motion, who wait when they need to rise, who wait when they need to set out. Bless them. Who wait for the end of waiting, who wait for the fullness of time, who wait emptied and open and ready, who wait for you. Oh, bless.
We lit the first candle of Advent today for hope. Where could hope be more welcomed but for the future of young people, for our youth? Locally, Bright Futures for Youth is a community-focused nonprofit organization committed to addressing the ever-changing needs of youth, from sixth graders to those in their mid-20s. Their mission is to ignite the potential of youth today for vibrant communities tomorrow. 1/2 of our offerings today will support this mission. And the other half of the donations will strengthen our church in its hopeful mission to create a more compassionate, sustainable, and just world. We are a self-sustaining community relying on your donations to fulfill this commitment. Please see the next slide for other ways to give. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received. We dedicate these offerings with hope-filled hearts that the youth in our community and that our church will thrive. Thank you.
Being held by the music, Linda, gives me hermit time, even in the midst of a crowd. Thank you. Beautiful. Linda, Siska, and Corey, or Cheryl Spalding were at the first service, which is a lovely thing now. They can attend the first service because they're with our young ones for the second service. So they get to do both. I invite you to appreciate them when you see them. Let's thank Linda for the setting if you see her. Our greeters, the folks who greeted you on the way in, thank them on the way out, I suggest. Eileen is our chat host, our creative, persistent chat host. Thank you for hanging in there. For everyone who brought refreshments and who organized refreshments, who set up and is going to clean up today. For our readers today. For Randy and Andy, who are standing in for Steve and Cypress. Thank you very much. And Carol, thank you for being worship associate today very much. And thank all of you for entering into that kind of tender space today, especially those of you who come for the first time and cross the threshold into new space. Always appreciate that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Just a couple announcements. There's a feasibility report from our consultant that will be offered today. Everyone's welcome to join in with that. At 1 o'clock. It'll be via Zoom, and I believe people are gathering in the room who want to view it together here, but Rachel will join us via Zoom. A candlelight service, the Joys and Sorrow service, really lovely on Monday evening, really nice Advent-y kind of space. And singing meditation on Thursday, also a spacious time to be together with music and silence. And for members, it's important to know that next Sunday there'll be a vote on whether to proceed with the purchase of a new campus. So really important to be here. You need to be at the meeting, whether it's at the meeting on Zoom or in person, to be able to vote. And of course, we want as many people as possible to take part in that decision. So please be ready for next Sunday. For this moment, we'll close with the song There Is More Love Somewhere, which for me has that longing energy to it. It comes out of the experience of Black people in the United States. And sings also that anticipatory piece of, I know it's there, it is available. Not there yet, but it is available, that knowing inside. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and to sing together. For all our longings and all who long, bless them. Bless them. Bless them. So may it be. We'll send each other on our way into our lives and world with these good words to each other, this community benediction. As soon as it comes up on the screen so the new people can see it. One before that. There we go. So together, we'll carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. And we'll see you next Sunday, where we'll honor the memory and legacy of Utah Phillips as it relates to this congregation. Please join us for refreshments and connection and conversation.